what I want to show you is this. Nesting functions. What does this mean? Single row functions can be nested to any level and are evaluated from the deepest level outwardly. So you can look at this format, F3, F2, F1, and then we have all these arguments. Look at, I have result 1, step 1. Nesting means program inside the program inside the program. So like this one now, this F1 is the innermost one, F1, and is requesting for 2 arguments. After he finishes his 2 arguments, he becomes an argument for F2. So F2 will now, you can see the bracket is in red here, red. So the output of F1 becomes the first argument of F2. So F2 and argument 1, argument 2 for F2. The output of F2 now becomes the first argument for F3. So F1 requires 2 arguments, which is column 1 and argument 1. The output becomes the argument 1 of F2 and then argument 2. Then the output of F2 becomes the argument 1 of F3. So F3 has argument 1, which is the whole of this, and argument 3. Are you with me? So this is nesting. This is program inside the program. So the innermost program will run, the output will become an input for the outermost program. That one will run, and then so you can nest like that. You can go as deep as possible. So I can say select last name, last underscore name, right? Comma. I'm going to call a function concat. So I've called the first function. This function is expecting 2 parameters. Now I'm going to open my parentheses. Now inside this parentheses, I'm going to call another function, substring, substr, right? Then this substr is expecting 3 arguments. So I'm going to open parentheses, and then I'm going to supply last name, last underscore name, comma. These are the parentheses for substring. So comma, then I will say from the first character. Are you with me? From the first character, count up to the 8th character. Are you with me? From the first character, count up to the 8th character. So I will close that. So this is substring. Substring is completed. Substring, I've supplied last name to it. Then to start counting from the first character up to the 8th character, right? This one becomes the whole of this. The whole of this becomes argument 1 for concat. So I'm going to put comma here. So I'm going to now supply the second argument of concat. In that one now, I'm supplying a string. So underscore US, and I'm putting it in what? In a single quote, because it's a string I'm supplying. Then I'll close the bracket. Then I'll say from employees. Then I'll end it. Now, do you see this? What am I saying? This is nesting. I'm nesting 2 functions together. So this is the first function, this one. But it's inside the belly of another function. And that function is what? Concat. Concat is a function that requires 2 arguments. Argument 1, argument 2. Now, those 2 arguments are there, which is this. The whole of this one is argument 1 for concat. Then the whole of this side is argument 2 for the concat. But this argument 1 of concat is also a function that is going to perform an action. And based on the rule of nesting, the innermost program must execute first before the outer program will execute. So in this case now, when it gets here, when it goes to employees table, right? When he goes to employees table, he's going to first and foremost pull out this column. Then it will come to this one. It will go and pull out, it will operate on this inside one first before this one. So the first thing it will do is it will take last name column. Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. It will take last name column, and then from that last name column, it will now take the first, starting from the first character, it will count 8 characters. That output is what it will return as the first element of concat. Then it will now add it to this underscore US. That is what the concat will now do, and it will return it. So let's run it and see what the output will be. Look at the output. So it comes here. Last name is Abel. So it's counting from the first character, that is substring. The first character of Abel is A. It will start counting from A. Abel has only 4 characters. So that means since it is 8 characters, it will only count the 4 characters that is there. I only saw 4 characters, and it will return it. Then concat will now add that output to this underscore US. So Abel underscore US, Andy underscore US, Atkinson. If you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you see, he counted Atkinson complete. Then underscore US. Are you seeing that? So that is what he's doing. So anybody that has up to 8 characters is to count them. But look at this one now. Cambrod is more than 8 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It only counted the 8 characters. So the T did not follow. Then it will now add it to the US, underscore US. Do you understand? This is nesting. So it will operate on this innermost query first, bring out the output, then it will now add that output up using this concat to this underscore US. This is called nesting. You are nesting the function, that is program inside the program inside the program inside. So you can nest as many programs as possible. So when you see some program running, there are so many things that are inside it that you don't know. That is what makes it complex. You see a function that is very big, the name will just be called inside another function, and then the name will be called inside another function. So that program now looks very complex. When you look at it, it now looks very complex. But in truth, it is just nesting. And when you look at it very well, you'll be seeing that, okay, this is the innermost program. This one has to run first. Then the output be given to this one. Then this one will run. Then the output will be given to this one. Then this one will run. That is actually it. So what that means in reality is that for you to be able to do your job, somebody has to finish his or her job first before it will get to your turn. So you are waiting for this person to finish his own job before you will now start your own job. That is nesting. So it means that you cannot function unless this person finishes his or her own job.